Hello everyone, I'm Sudeepthi Dondapati. Today we are going to discuss a very important topic, something that is very interesting at the same time, and some students feel very challenging when they have to face their exam, especially which asks for some write-ups. Now, why do they want to check your writing skills? By now, you would have understood what I'm trying to talk to you personally. Yes, it is all about your writing skills. Until and unless you're good at writing, you cannot convey information or you cannot communicate with your readers very clearly. Now, how do the examiners or evaluators understand that you are a person with good writing ability? Do you know that they are very clever, very intelligent in terms of evaluating your communication ability. Now, writing is one of the forms of communication. Until and unless you communicate very clearly the exact idea that you have on your mind to your readers, that won't be good communication. So now I want you to be very confident of your writing. I want you to be focusing on your writing ability. Now, you would have understood now the crux of our discussion. Yes, you're right. Essay writing. This is going to be very interesting as many companies would ask for this essay writing. Part of your verbal ability, your grammar, your punctuation, everything will be tested in the form of multiple choice questions. At the same time, some companies will be expecting these future engineers, all of you, to have good writing abilities, and for that reason they are going to conduct this essay writing. Now, without much delay, let us dwell on the topic. Company-specific training for this DXC and Tvarana. Right. So outline. Now, what is that that we are going to focus? We are going to focus on the process of essay writing. Now, many students are very much worried, thinking that we do not know how to write essay writing. And some students are overconfident that they spoil the format of essay writing. Some of them are not at all confident and they're very low confident, and that is why they cannot pen down their ideas when they have to sketch a beautiful, confident essay. Now, how do you do that? You should know the structure of it. Like every person, like everything, like every process, like every report, you take anything, you name it anything, they have certain procedures. Like part of it, this structure is the crux of any important aspect. So you will be expected to follow the structure of that particular concept. Now, until and unless you have rules and regulations to go about, you cannot sketch a wonderful or meaningful essay. Now, you don't have to be worried about that. Let me make you understand very clearly how you can really how you can really come up with these pragmatics or these practical aspects of writing an essay. Right? Now, talking about the structure, you need to understand there are three important aspects to it, right? So if you're very much sure of these aspects, then you don't have to worry about it. That means you're almost at the end of this essay writing. But the question is, are you aware of the format? My dear students and my reviewers, some of you must be puzzled, thinking about writing points or writing a paragraph or writing a single sentence. Now, what is right? Which of this is obviously is correct? Now, you have to realize that there are three important aspects you need to remember. 1, 2, 3, so simple as such. Now, the first one you have to encounter, the first one you have to come up with is your introduction. Even if I come and speak to you saying that essay has these many aspects without giving, without introducing, without talking about the topic that I'm going to start, will you be able to understand the format of essay writing when or if I start directly the points that you should be noted? No. There's no head, and of course sometimes there won't be any tail. Head and tail won't be there, and there will be only body that you must be seeing around. So that will not convey a clear picture, right? For that, you need to understand, I am so and so. I hail from this place. I do this. I come from this place, and I'm a graduate of so and so, education or your educational qualification. I'm a graduate of MBA or whatever is your qualification, and then you will be talking about your it's like your interests, and at the same time your hobbies or something, your strengths which are you're very good at. So now, what did you hear? Now, what did you understand? You can understand that there is a structure. There is a structure. You see the head, you see the introduction, and then slowly you're going to another detail, which is a little later. That will come a little later. First is something which is very primary, and then next important, and then next important. Gradually, you'll be talking about, you'll be unpacking, you'll be revealing all the details of that essay, right? So is with essay structure. When we read your essays, we understood that your essay structure is not in place. So for that reason, this may help you. We've come up with this sort of in a presentation so that students will be very clear with essay writing. So introduction is number one. Number two is like body paragraph. Now, what is this body paragraph? Now, these words sound literally confusing. You don't have to worry about it. The only thing that you will be discussing is like there are three aspects, three segments in your essay writing. Number one, introduction. Please, my dear students, you don't have to use the term introduction in your writing. Do not use these titles for every paragraph when you sketch an essay. Just come in paragraphs and then leave it. You don't have to title them. And we see some points over there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in some essay writings. And you don't have to write in points, and that is not acceptable. Writing in points is not allowed in any essay writing. So now what do you have to do? The only thing you have to do is just write in paragraphs. Write in paragraphs, don't write in points. And then in paragraphs, whether you do you have to write a short paragraph or you can go to any extent, provided you have that format. So introduction may contain 5 to 6 lines if you wish, or you can really talk talk about the topic maybe perhaps in 4 to 5 sentences, and then you can go to this body of your essay writing. Body may contain 1 paragraph, 2 paragraphs, and the ideal number would be 2 to 3. So you can go, better you limit your body of paragraph to 2 to 3 paragraphs, and you can really conclude it. Now you don't have to write the title, give the title saying conclusion or introduction or body. Everybody, any person with writing skills or with the knowledge of writing skills will definitely be able to find out your structure or your format of essay, right? So that's very important. So introduction, body, paragraph, conclusion. Now we'll understand. So let me give you a very quick and easy way of recollecting the format of your essay by mentioning 3 important and interesting aspects. Number 1, tell the reader what you're going to tell them. That is very easy for you to remember. Tell the reader what you are going to tell them. Now understand, my dear students, English is easier only if you comprehend it. If you do not comprehend it, you won't be able to understand, you won't be able to process. Tell the reader what you're going to tell them in the first paragraph. That is in your introduction. So in your introduction, you will be mentioning or you'll be telling the readers that you are going to tell them what you're going to tell them, what you're going to talk about, what you're going to present in your essay. So all these things will come in the first paragraph. Now, that is what we say when we say, tell the reader what you're going to tell them. Next one, tell them. Remember, all T. You have to remember 3 T's. Number 1, tell the reader what you're going to Tell them. Number 2, tell them. What do you tell them? What do you tell them? Now you are going to tell them the information, the matter that you are going to discuss, the argument that what is that? What is your stance? What's your standpoint? What is your opinion? What's your view? So that is what you are going to tell them. Number 3, tell the reader what you've told them. Number 3, tell the reader what you have told them. Now, introduction. In introduction, you will be talking about what you are going to tell them. And in the body, that is second section, you will be telling them the information. That's what's your main idea. What is that you want to discuss and what is your opinion on the topic. Number 3, you're going to tell the reader what you've told them. Now, you must be guessing now what is this about. This is about your conclusion. You don't have to tell them again. You don't have to keep a title saying conclusion, but you can directly say that. Now it's like, you are reporting, but please don't write all the information that, what all are unnecessary. But in the third, in the conclusion paragraph, what you're going to do is you are going to sum up your argument, what all you have discussed in the body of your essay. Now, what is that? I'll give you some examples so that it will be very clear. So, in conclusion, what are you going to do? You're going to tell the reader what you've told them, right? Now, if you can really understand, I have a checklist here with me on the screen for you to glance at. Now, why do you have to really worry about these 3 sections? He said, tell them what you're going to tell them and tell them what you've told them. If there is any question prompt. Now, what is this essay? An essay prompt will be there, right? The essay prompt or the question prompt will be what? For example, owning a house is very difficult, or owning a house is difficult than renting a house. For example, a topic, like this is there. Like this, you noticed in your exam. Now, how do you do it? Now, in the introduction, you should make sure that you understand what you are going to write. So, now, quickly, before you start writing your exam, you need to understand, work thoroughly on your question or an essay prompt. Now, working on your essay prompt, what does that mean? You have to make a quick plan. You have to make a quick sketch of what you're going to write. Now, you may ask me, ma'am, where is the time for us to go at? That is what practice before you do it. So if you get used to writing these structured essays, then you will be able to follow the structure very easily even at the time of your real-time exam. So now make a quick plan. Even during the exam, you can really make a plan maybe when you have this rough space provided or maybe in your mind. Now, how do you plan it? You are going to plan all these 3 sections and what you are going to do. Understand the essay prompt. Renting a house is much easier than owning a house, for example. The same thought. So now what are you going to do? Now what are you going to do? You try to just project the idea. You repeat the question. You repeat the essay prompt in the introduction. And before that, you need to set a context. So in the later slide, we will be talking about the exact structure of an introduction. So we are going deeper of every aspect that we have discussed here as part of this essay structure, right? So number 1, what you have to do is you have to make a quick plan. Now, what you are going to do, and much prior to that, what you have to work on understanding the essay prompt. Essay prompt is your essay topic, and what you have to do is you have to sketch a clear and simple picture of your essay. Now, when I refer to the simple and clear, it means that you are not complicating the structure. You are not coming up with your thoughts which are not very easy, and they are not very clear, which are not very clear for the reader to understand. Please do not write very lengthy sentences in your essay writings, which students usually do. So make it very simple, make it clear, and then write point-wise. point. In the sense, I do not mention the number here. Point wise, in the sense, not 1 to 3, but what I'm saying is points should be there in your paragraphs. But then they should not be in 2 to 3 sentences, lengthy. These sentences which are loaded with thoughts, and that will really make your essay complicated, and it will not be very easier for the reader to read. So if you follow this tip, you don't have to really worry about your essay format. Shall I tell you one thing? If you make your points very simple, the advantage is that you don't have to make many grammatical errors, because part of your grammar and punctuation, your essay writing will have to have all these qualities like grammar, your punctuation. Sometimes we notice students do not follow any punctuation rules. They start the line and they will end somewhere. They will not even use a full stop when they end their thought. Now, what is the indication that your thought has ended there? Only your full stop. Now, where is it full stop? It runs through and through paragraphs. So please do not make such mistakes. So that's for that reason I'm advising you to use simple sentences for making the life of the reader very easy. Right. Next. So now you have to see through. If somebody reads any paragraph, they should be able to see through your text, see through your essays. That is why clarity is very important. Secondly, you have to think about the purpose of your paragraph. Now, purpose of every paragraph. Now, am I using very grand words, and am I complicating your writing? No, not really. Now, what I'm trying to say is, before you sketch your essay, before you start your paragraph in the essay, what you have to do is think about the purpose. So what is the purpose? In the first one, you are telling them what you are going to do. There's introduction. You have to set a context. You have to set up some background, and you're going to bring in that background. Secondly, you're going to explain the title. Like, you're not repeating the exact words of your essay prompt, but you're trying to break down those thoughts and trying to use some synonyms and add other adjectives to explain furthermore for the reader to understand. So in the introduction, let me give you an example. Like, renting a house is very easier for any middle class person than owning a house. So you can say, nowadays we see many people renting houses for the sake of time, for the sake of money, for the sake of their saving investments. And so in the sense, you're directly not bringing which is better. Like, you're not talking that you prefer or you support or you favor renting a house here, but what you're doing is you are setting up the social context. You're setting up the context for the essay, and gradually in the second and third paragraphs you will be providing the details. Now, in the beginning you said this is what the topic. You set a statement. Renting a house or renting houses is very easy and it's very time saving than owning a house, for example, and you provide some more information. Like, nowadays we see rent houses in the nook and corner of the world because people don't have time to think about it, to plan, and to really take up every work to neatly arrange in their houses, to furnish their houses. Absolutely lack of time. So you will be providing supporting details there. So for that, you'll be discussing different reasons. You'll be giving examples where in your body of your essay. So 2 and 3 paragraphs can contain your body. That is, can contain these arguments. Now, in the beginning, you introduced them. Now, in the body paragraphs, you are supporting, you are providing examples, you are providing details, you are providing your argument. If you're arguing, provide arguments. If you're not arguing, if you're comparing, then bring comparisons, give examples. If you're normally discussing, you can really mention the reasons for you to take this up. And in conclusion, you can really talk about what all you are summarizing, and you say, and in all these things, we've understood that renting houses is more easier for the people who really are who are not very rich and middle class, and they are somewhere in the not in the higher strata of society, but somebody who can really afford to have these facilities, right? And so you can think about all that. Next, you have to think through the question, thinking about the question before you start your paragraph. Simple and clear. Make a quick plan. When you are planning for it, you have to think through the question, understand it, and then you see the paragraphs, you see your answers, how you are doing it, right? And also you have to think about every purpose. What is the purpose of first paragraph? What is the purpose of second paragraph? What is the purpose here? Like you are trying to give your argument in the first paragraph, that is body. First is introduction, second is body, and in third paragraph you're trying to support some more evidences, some more details, some more examples in the third paragraph. This is the purpose of your paragraph. And in conclusion, what will be your purpose? You're summarizing your argument. You said, hence, for all these all reasons, help us or they understand that this will be an easier option. So these things are very important. Now, three-step introduction. The three-step introduction, what is it? Now, you have to understand background statement in introduction. Now, understand, I'm trying to explain you every aspect very clearly so that you won't make mistakes. The first one is introduction. In introduction, again, you have to think about 3 sentences. Please do not write these titles in your essay. Now, background statement. Now, you have to set up the social context, as I've mentioned a little earlier. A while ago, I mentioned you have to set the background. In the background, you say, in Western countries or in India, we see many people not owning their houses, or many people going for these rented houses. And in fact, the life is very busy and we don't have time. So what you are trying to do is you are trying to set the context. Background statement. You are giving your opinion in the form of statement. What is it nowadays? Renting houses has become very easier. So you are giving the statement. Next, rewrite the question prompt. That's what I've mentioned. You're further explaining. So renting houses has many things, and we can understand in so parts of world, in so countries, we notice that 80%, if you know statistics, then mention, otherwise don't. So according to the study, or when we see that these days people are very much preoccupied with their work. They're very much preoccupied with their different tasks, and that's why they don't have time to think about plan for the future. So you are again trying to make the readers understand the question by rewriting the question prompt or an essay prompt. Thirdly, what you are trying to do is you have to bring up your thesis statement or topic sentence. Now, where should you write all these things? Only in the introduction. My dear students, don't think that you have to write a background statement, rewrite the question prompt, and bring your topic sentence in 1, 2, 3 paragraphs. No, all these three aspects in first introduction. First paragraph, in introduction paragraph. So in introduction, you can think about all these things. Rewrite the question prompt and write your thesis statement. So what is this thesis statement or topic sentences? Thesis statement and topic sentence is nothing but you are talking about the main idea of the essay or main idea of your argument. What is your main idea? you're going to say that renting houses is very is time saving, and it is very much advantageous when you're working for working people. So if this is your main idea, you're going to bring in this thesis statement or topic sentence in your introduction. Please do not carry this thesis statement or introduction in your body. Students, this should make it very clear. This should make you understand. Don't write these statements or introduction related stuff in your body. 2, 3. Only make sure you write it in your first paragraph, right? So your introduction should be very effective. You should super impress the readers, okay? And you can really tighten your essay with your introduction, and then as you pitch in or as you enter your body paragraphs before you conclude your essay, right? And your essay should be very flexible, and in order to write a powerful and flexible essay, you need to have the structure. And at the same time, your readers or your examiners will not have in fact, they don't like to read novels and your biographies which you write in the form of your essay. In fact, what you do is you use the name of essay, but what you do is you write novels, volumes and volumes of, these novels and drama work, stories. You don't have to do all that. You have to be very precise. You have to bring in the main argument, main idea, that is thesis statement, and support your main idea with some evidences support before you conclude. It is so easy if you really understand the structure. Now you have to do something very significant, something which is very important. So what are they? Your grammar and vocabulary, they are very important. If you don't have, these are like, you have a body there. It's like, even take a human body, right? Without using hands and legs, you cannot really do a large amount of work, right? These hands are your tools to really mend something, to develop something, right? Same is the case with grammar, right? If you don't have your grammar in place, you won't be able to sketch a beautiful essay. It's like, you show an apple which is very big in size, but you see some holes and apples. You don't feel like taking them, grabbing them, so you cannot grab a bite. So is with your grammar or your essay. If you don't have accurate and all this vocabulary will really furnish your essay. It's like you bought a new house and furniture part is excellent. You have nice cupboards and all these things. But if you don't have all these things and you bring your guests to an empty room which doesn't have any facility, which doesn't have any wardrobes or any cupboards or anything like that, now how does that look? It looks pale. So is with this essay writing. If you don't have vocabulary, if you don't have grammar, you won't be able to impress your readers. So impress the reader when packing your thoughts. How do you unpack? Unpacking in the sense you are trying to convey your arguments or your ideas in the form of body paragraphs. Third, tell what you want to tell. Like what you have to do is, like in your introduction, what you are trying to say, I'm going to. Now the following sections will provide the evidences or the advantages and disadvantages of following this. Right? Now, with this, we've finished our introduction or introductory part. Now, let us dwell on the second aspect in an essay, that is body paragraph. In body paragraph, discuss your topic sentence. Now, you mentioned your topic sentence in the first paragraph, introduction. Now, you have to discuss elaborately on the topic sentence. Now, what is the main idea? You said renting house is cheaper, or renting house is time saving. Now, how? Why? When? What? all this should come in your body. You explain them. Okay, and then for that you're supporting your argument with some examples. And then you're summarizing. So by the end of your body paragraph, you can really start summarizing your ideas, summarizing then for these reasons, and so these help us understand. And these are the thoughts that can really help one person to go for this option. So you're like trying to summarize them. So what is more important? There is one more important. It's like, you bring so many flowers, you want to make it a beautiful garland, right? So in order to make a beautiful garland, you have flowers, and you have a person to really, make it. But then you don't have any thread to join these flowers, right? Now, what is very missing there? What's missing there? Thread is missing. And what is this thread? Thread will connect, right? Will connect. Thread is very useful. So this will bridge, this will connect actually your ideas. And these will, connect communication. Like when you want to convey it to the readers, you will communicate your ideas. How? By having or by possessing this coherence. Like you have to make sure this coherence and cohesion. What is this coherence? Your logical connection. For example, I want to talk about the benefits of fruits. I say fruits are very important, and they are very tasty and very nutritious. And in the second paragraph, I talk about flowers. And flowers, I like roses are very beautiful flowers in the world. When I say rose, now I talked about fruits, and in the second paragraph, I talked about flowers. Now, do I make any connection? No. You talk about A, I talk about B. There's no connection. So my dear students, you should have that logical connection. You have to build, you have to bring the sequence. You have to show the consistency. That consistency should be there, right? You have that logical flow should be there. Only then you will have to. Now, let me give you an example. You talked about, say, you gave a statement, this is easier renting a house, and then you have to provide the example, support it, and then you provide another example. You talk about advantages, you talk about disadvantages in a very nice way, and then come up with the conclusion. So there should be some coherence between these paragraphs, right? In the same way, you have to mention benefits if you are talking about it, the advantages, and then disadvantages. Using, how do you write? Mention disadvantages by using these contrasting words, linkers. However, but even though, in spite of, although, despite these conditions, so you can use all these things, nonetheless, nevertheless, okay, in your essay. So in your conclusion part, what you have to do is you have to reiterate what you've said in the body paragraph. Read with the sense. Don't pick up the entire section and keep it in the conclusion section. No, that is not the idea. What I'm trying to say is you are trying to sum up the argument by saying, for these reasons, I would feel that this is the best option for any middle class person to live or lead a happy life. So you're summing up, you are summarizing, you are once again trying to close your essay by saying that this is for this reason, we feel that this is better. And also what you can do is when you want to finish it, you can say that for many people, like you can bring in some statistics also if possible, if necessary, and then you can end it, right? You talk about some pros and cons in your body paragraph, and then you can do it, wind up your essay, right? So you can say, when you compare, for example, you did comparison or you argued, you say, I've argued, so I conclude my argument, or in the following paragraphs, I compared this house, okay, with that. In the following essay, in this essay, I argued, or if you have discussed, I discussed. So you end your argument using all these things, okay? End your quote if you can. and with a quote in the sense like, please don't worry about concluding it, concluding your essay only by using quote. If you can really recall, you can. Otherwise, it is not mandatory, but it is desirable. Now, what is something very important, and these are important things. First, understand the topic. For you to follow these aspects, now you have to have all these things. Number one, these are essentials. You have to understand the topic. And if you understand the topic, please don't start your essay without understanding the essay prompt. So this is very crucial. Secondly, present in a good manner, in a systematic order. Don't write 1, 2, 3. Please write paragraphs. And what is this? We've discussed the structure. Number 3, discuss pros and cons. You can discuss advantages, disadvantages, or merits or demerits when you have all these things. Fourthly, provide solutions. Please don't leave the essay as it is. You can suggest, you can provide a solution, you can raise some concerns. And finally, you please do check grammar and spelling. Read backwards. Okay, from last, you can go through once again. Revisit your writing again and again. Revisit it. And then end up your essay. Please don't write your essay writing without any structure. Check whether it has a meaningful discussion or not. So this is very important. Without losing its meaning, you have to bring up the argument, right? Hope you follow the essay structure and come up with beautiful essays with good pattern. So all the best for your future exams. Thank you.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.